What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 4. The episode was titled The Way We Were. Now, before I do get into it, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into Raising Kanan, shall we? All right, guys, so this episode, it was a good episode. I didn't really have any problems with the episode. I absolutely want you guys to tell me what you guys thought about this episode of Raising Kanan in the comments section below or in the premiere, because this will be a premiere. Now, the episode, I guess we won't start up with where the episode started up at. I'll talk about Rock real quick, and then we'll double back to Rock a little bit later in the episode. But we'll first start up with the first thing we see with Rock. Now, this first thing that we see with Rock, so you guys remember in last week's episode, Rock's mama told her, Juke, Marvin, and Lou she has cancer and that she is dying, right? In this week's episode, we see Rock. Rock is over to her mama's house. Rock is still mad at her mama. Like, who does that? Like, who has a dinner with collard greens and all this kind of collard greens, cornbread, and all this kind of crap to tell their kids that they're dying? I was like, well, Rock, what other point did you want the woman to tell you this? Like, at least she fed y'all. At least she fed y'all. But Rock is pissed off at her, right? But again, like I said last week, I don't necessarily believe that Rock is upset. I mean, she could be upset at how she found out, but she's also mostly mad that you tell us this. Now we don't have, there's no time for us to really, salvage relationships, potentially fix relationships, nothing like that, right? So I think that's where Rock's whole anger is coming from. You guys can tell me what you think and what you feel, right? But Rock also feels like her mama is quitting. I was like, girl, how is she? Rock, sometimes the things that you say don't make sense. This doesn't make sense, right? Because Rock is saying that she feels like her mama is quitting much like she did when her dad died, right? And I was like, well, Rock, she has terminal cancer, so there's nothing that your mama can do at this point. So I don't see how you can come up with the statement that she's quitting. And Rock's mama was also like, when your daddy took his own life, like, I was left with 3 fucking kids. Let you tell it, you were the one that stepped in for the family. Let Marvin tell it, he's the one that stepped in for the family. And let Lou tell it, Lou was by himself. So she said we all 3 have different interpretations of what happened, right? And so she's like, there were times where I wasn't the best wife. There were times where I wasn't the best mother. And Rock was like, if you're looking for us, me to forgive you, basically, I don't have it to forgive you for right now. But you guys tell me what you think about Rock. Like, I get where Rock is coming from, because her mom is talking about, she's, with her facing her own mortality, she is now looking at how she did things when it comes to her life, because she's like, there's not gonna be anybody there that's gonna miss her. And I'm like, your kids will miss you. They have their feelings about you. And the thing is, you cannot take away your kids' feelings. But again, I want you guys to tell me what you think and feel in the comment section. Now, the next thing that we have with Rock is, this is later in the episode, but I didn't know where to put it. But later in the episode, we see Rock. So Rock is at home, right? And the police come up to the house, knock on the door. And so Rock goes and answers the door. The police come in. The police are questioning Rock about Andre's death, because they were like, we looked at his calendar and we know that he had dinner with you that night. And she was like, that ain't got shit to do with me. They were like, we're not saying that it has anything to do with you. They're asking, did he tell her anybody that he was meeting with? Did he have anybody that he was worried about? Anything like that. And Rock was like, I don't know anything. So you two can see the door. And that's what happened with that. Now, let's go ahead and move on, you guys. Kanan. We're gonna briefly talk. It's not briefly, but we're gonna talk about Kanan. So you guys remember last week's episode, Kanan and Crystal got that apartment, right? Remember, Crystal wanted to get the apartment so that way they would not be dealing with people coming in and out of the apartment. You guys remember at the end of last week's episode, Unique came and robbed Kanan's place, right? Took Kanan for his product and took him for his money, right? But this week, Kanan is doing business at this apartment with that dude whose name I forget. I keep forgetting the man's name. But he's coming over there. They short on the money, right? So once old dude left, Crystal was like, Kanan, the purpose of us getting this apartment was so that way what happened at the other apartment, business wouldn't be coming over here. And if people see business coming over here, then that's going to attract people's eyes over here. And I was like, she's a smart girl, even though I don't like Crystal, very smart. Now, there's a knock at Kanan's door. It's Jukebox, right? Crystal's like, she don't like me. She has very good reason for not liking me. So Kanan left, right? When Kanan left, it was just Crystal and Juke there. So Crystal gave Juke the tour of the apartment. After that, Juke was getting ready to leave, and Crystal was like, you know what, Jukebox, the shit that I did to you last year, I apologize about that. Getting you beat up, getting you jumped by them girls, even though you beat their asses, I apologize about it. And Juke was like, they were going to cut me, Crystal. And Crystal was like, you know what, but you still handled them though. I was like, that's not funny, Crystal. But Crystal was like, you know what, because I love Kanan, you love Kanan, let's try to make something work out with us. And Juke was like, you know what, we'll try. We will try. Now, moving on, we see Kanan. So Kanan went to go see Pops and Snap, right? Well, Snaps and Pop. And he gave them the money. And they were like, little homie, this your little shy. You short some money. And so Kanan let them know that, he got hit. And they was like, you ain't got no excess reserves lying around. And they were like, you know what, Kanan? This time, we gonna let the little short amount of money slide. I was shocked. Then they asked him, did Rock get hit? He was like, you're gonna have to ask Rock yourself. I said, here go this accent that I hate. But he told them to ask Rock. And then they were telling him that Quan wants to meet Kanan and that they can facilitate this meeting between Kanan and Quan. Because Kanan is now saying that he wants to be synonymous, he don't want to be, well, he doesn't want to be synonymous to, Rock, his uncles. He wants to be his own man. He wants people to know who Kanan Stark is, right? Pops and Snaps and Pop, they say that they can help him with this meeting, right? Now, moving on, we see Kanan. So Kanan went to go meet with Quan. And, Kanan is telling Quan that when it comes down to his business, you don't have to talk to my mother about my business because my business is my business. I was like, okay, Kanan. But when you in a clinch, your mama comes and bails you out, which is gonna come up in just a few minutes because we then see Kanan go meet Stefano. Stefano wasn't really happy to meet Kanan because Stefano was like, your mother came to me asking me for, it was $1 million. It was somewhere around $1 million that Rock asked for last season. Stefano was like, I got 2 kids, love them down. But I'm even ask for a fucking C-note for them. But your mama had the balls to come and ask me for money to bail you out, right? And then you going behind your mother's back. He was like, I don't want to see you. Like, goodbye. Go away from me with this shit, Apollo. And I was like, I agree. It's interesting to see Kanan trying to snake his mama, but I mean, the Kanan that we saw in the original Power, I'm not shocked that he would even think about snaking his mama. But I want you guys to tell me what you guys think and feel. Moving on to Jukebox, right? Now, we see Jukebox. So Jukebox went down to the gay bar again, right? She's there with her friend Mara. And then there was a little girl by the name, I forgot what her name was. Jessica, is that what the girl's name was? Whatever her name was. There was a girl that saw Jukebox. She was flirting with Jukebox. So she came over to the bar, asked Juke, can I buy you a drink? And Juke was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, girl, take the drink. She's flirting with you. But Jukebox didn't take the drink, right? So then we see as Juke and Mara left the bar. And so Juke was like, let's go to this place where they have hash browns at, right? And Mara's like, she don't turn down the Potato Family in any capacity. So we see them as they're getting ready to walk in a direction of where they need to go. But then Mara sees a guy and she says, you know what? Let's go this way. Let's go to a pizza spot. And so the guy screamed out Mara's name. And Juke was like, is this nigga stalking you? Like, do you know this nigga? So the man keeps calling out Mara's name. So the man, she was like, run. So when they tried to run, the man came up and pushed Juke and pushed her to the ground, right? Grabbing Mara, yanking Mara to the car and threatening, Mara. I was like, oh, wow. And so Juke did ask her, do you know him? She's like, yeah, he's my husband. I was like, yo, husband. So, girl, you out here, what are you doing, ma'am? What are you doing? Now, we see Jukebox at home. Jukebox got, the ice up to her head. And when she got the ice up to her head, Marvin saw her. He was like, did somebody put their hands on you? So then we see Jukebox and Marvin go to Mara's place. Marvin got his gun. He cocks it. And she was like, leave that. Like, leave that. Like, we don't want this to get messy. He said, I'm taking this in case it does. So that way it doesn't get messy. She said, no, leave it. So Marvin went upstairs to old dude's apartment, knocked on the door. He said, who the fuck is it? Not gonna get. He said, I asked who the fuck is it. So he opened the door and Marvin, boom, punches him in the face. So then we see as him and Marvin, they bah, 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 just knocking each other out, right? And Marvin was getting the best of the man. And then Marvin was getting ready to leave. He said, it don't make me have to come back over here again, right? So then the dude grabs, I don't know what that was. It looked like one of those it looked like a tribal knife to me. You guys, if y'all know what it was, tell me. But whatever it was, he went and stabbed Marvin. So him and Marvin, they fighting. He put his hand in Marvin's wound and Marvin's like, ah. So then he got, he on top of Marvin. He trying to stab Marvin and boom, he got popped. And it was Jukebox because she looked at the clock. It was 3:50. Then it went to 3:51. And so she went upstairs and she saved her dad. And when they left, the look in Jukebox's eyes, that is the Jukebox that we met in the original Power. Because the look in her eyes, that was a dark look in that Jukebox's eyes from the original Power. I did think it was interesting that we went this route, that she took somebody out. Even though we know on the original Power, she was a crooked, dirty cop. But hey, it is what it is, you guys. Let's move on. Next up, you guys, let's talk about Lou real quick. So we see Lou. So Lou was in the studio with B-Rilla. And then there's a girl named Imani that comes down, basically telling not Marvin, but Lou, that she's gonna, come in and work with them as some kind of a manager. But the look on Lou's face is like, who the fuck are you? Why the fuck you down here? I ain't got time for this. I don't want you here. Very dismissive of her, right? The only person who seemed a little bit interested in her was B-Rilla, but I took it like B-Rilla was trying to hit. Because she is a cute girl, but that's why she's a product manager. But like I said, her name is Imani, right? Now, we do see Imani and Lou in Lowell's office. And Lowell is like, I talked to Imani, and Imani says that you dismissed her. Imani says, well, that's not the exact words that I used. The words that I used were distracted. So Lou said, you know what, Lowell, you're right. I was dismissive of her. She's like, well, I'd be damned. I was like, girl, he wasn't distracted. He wasn't distracted. Yes, they were working in the studio. Yes, B-Rilla was on the track, but he was very dismissive of you, right? And the reason that Lou is so dismissive of Imani is because Lou feels like he knows everything and that he can do everything for B-Rilla. Whereas Lowell is like, yeah, you can do all these things, but can you do them perfectly, right? So that's why he wants for both Imani and Lou to work together. And so he suggested they work together, like figure this shit out. Now we do see as they went down to the bar and Imani is talking to Lou and he asks her like, so what do you want when it comes to B-Rilla? She's basically talking about, B-Rilla needs a single. She wants to kind of replicate what happened with Fame because the song, Streets Need a Body. That song went hot because we can't say it went viral because viral isn't a thing in 1990. but you know, it did what it needed to do. And she was thinking that Fame was going to be their first breakout hip hop artist on the label, but you know, we can't find Fame. And so after that, she's just like, you know, she's going to go up somewhere. I forgot where she said, but she's going to go meet an R&B artist. Ask Lou if he wants to tag along. Lou like, nah, he's good, right? Now after that, we see back at Lou's apartment, B-Rilla is still staying at Lou's apartment. Now Lou says the reason that B-Rilla is staying there is because B-Rilla says when he's by himself, he gets into drama, so he don't want that, right? Now Kanan is also there, and so Kanan and Lou are talking about Fame. Kanan still doesn't know anything about Fame or where Fame is. Lou told him that he talked to Jessica. Jessica did mention him being in LA, but he thinks Jessica was lying to him because then he said also that Jessica told him that their mom is enlisting the help of the cops to find Fame. I'm kind of wondering if Fame is, you know, swimming with the fishes, so to speak. I mean, we know Fame ran away. We know Fame ran, but Fame ain't. I mean, Fame wouldn't last. Well, I mean, he got that raggedy ass apartment. So, but I mean, it's a lot when it comes to Fame. It's a whole hell of a lot. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. All right, you guys. So next we have crazy ass Unique. So Neek is doing the most, right? Neek is doing the most. So we see Neek. Neek still is talking about Rock and taking money from him. I'm like, Neek, you're dead. A dead person can't make money. Everybody in the game thinks your brother took you out. Nobody knows you alive but Early over here. So Neek thinks that it's time for him to come out of the shadows. Early is like, you know what? If it was me and people thought I was dead, I'd be playing with that shit for as long as I could. I was like, I think I would too. I would too. But again, we got to remember, Neek, his brain ain't all the way there because he still think Rock is the one that was working with Ronnie. Okay. Now, while they're talking, Marvin stops by. Marvin stops by with a business opportunity for Early. And I was like, what kind of business opportunity does Marvin have for Early? And it's payback for what he did helping him find Gerald's daughter. But I was still sitting here thinking to myself, it's like, what kind of business deal you got for Early? Charlie came up later in the episode. Now we see Neek as he went to go see, I think his name was Damon. So Damon worked for Rock, but he don't work for Rock no more. Neek is just going to anybody who he feel is scoring by Rock to try to even the score with Rock, right? So then we see these two fools as they went to one of the warehouses where Rock is working with the Chinese people, the Asian people. I can't be for sure if they're Chinese, but the Asian people, right? So they just blast the spot up because he said take out as many niggas as you can. I was like, Neek, what is this plan? This makes no sense, Neek. This makes no sense. What the fuck are you doing? So they take out as many people as they can. But Neek's partner got taken out as well. I was like, well, I'd be damned. I'd be damned. I'd be damned. Now, Marvin. Marvin took Early to meet Stefano. So Stefano is talking about a property that he got, right? And it took me a few minutes to catch what property he was talking about that he wants Early to run. Y'all remember episode 2? I think it was episode 2, right? Or was it last week's episode? Either way it go. Y'all remember that episode where it was episode 2. Remember the episode where not Early, but Stefano told Marvin to go up to that bar because the bookie was taking money off the side? That's where he wants him to work at. I said, well, I'd be damned. And I was thinking to myself, like, how well does Marvin know Early? Because Stefano was like, if I get fucked over in this process, then I'm coming directly to you. Oh, God. Do y'all think Marvin gonna make it out of this season? Do y'all think Marvin is gonna make it out of this season? Because the way it's looking, I don't really see it. I don't really see it. Now back over to Neek, who is going to anybody who got a beef with, and it ain't even Rock. Rock had nothing to do with what happened at that christening last season. That was all Marvin. That was all Marvin working with Stefano, because you so. And I was wondering why they showed that in, but anytime they show something from a previous season in the trailer, in the previous, in the episode coming into the episode, when they say previously on Power, is because it's gonna play out in that episode. So they showed Marvin shooting up that christening last season. Was it last season or was it the season before? Either way it go, they showed Marvin shooting up that christening. So Neek took his ass to meet with the wife Teresa, and so she gave him the name of somebody to go talk to. I was like, oh my God, Neek, you are so climbing up the wrong tree, my brother. Wrong road, wrong road. But that's it for Neek, you guys. Let's go ahead and move over to Rock again, Rock and Marvin together. Now, the beginning of the episode. So we see as Tremont is out on the balcony at a hotel smoking a blunt, right? Go back into it. Pop got pistol whipped and then got stuffed into the laundry bin. I was like, wow. So then we later see him as he's tied up to a chair in an empty pool, and Marvin is just punching him left and right. And Tremont is asking, like, what do you want? Like, whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Then we later see him with the Blicky playing Russian roulette. Pop, 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 pop. I was like, how many times y'all gonna pop this? And how many times have y'all done this? Because this man look like he done shit himself at least a good 3 times. Look like he done shit himself at least a good 3 times. So Rock and Marvin asked Tremont for his connect. He gave them the information for the connect under duress. Because that man looked like he had went through it. And then come to find out they were fucking with that man. It was not one bullet in the chamber of that gun. But Rock told him, if you don't give me the information that I want, I'm gonna fill this motherfucker up and pop, 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 take you out. So he gave Rock the information. So we see as Rock and Marvin went to go meet with the Connect, right? He thinks that they want to come in and do business with him. But Rock said, contrary, Confrata. I don't want to come in and do business with you. I want to come in and, work with whoever you work with. So old boy was like, okay, you know what, cool. Come back tomorrow, but alone. So we see as Rock went back by herself. Old dude took her through the business to the back alley to a car. And I was like, now, sir, I hope you ain't doing what I think you are doing. But he wasn't doing what I thought he was doing. Because I was like, I know you ain't finna try to get her in the backseat of this car and proposition her and say, if you sleep with me, I'll give you that information. But that's not what it was, right? So he did take her to go, he put her in the backseat of the car. She went somewhere else and she met with the big boss who, he seems a little intrigued, and he told her, you know what? I'll be in touch with you if I want to do business with you. Now, we see as Rock and Marvin, they went to go over to the mess that Neek had made. And I was like, oh God. So the guy's name was Damon, right? Now, Terry, however, the guy that's over this restaurant, he was like, you know what? This shit ain't even what the fuck I bargained for. This ain't what I asked for. Like, I didn't want this shit. So we're done with it. Now, there was another Asian dude beside him. He was like, hell no. Like, we ain't even talked about this. We're not doing this. And so Rock was like, here's some money for your trouble. He's like, that's not enough of my trouble. That dude said, the bullshit. Took that money and said, this is enough money for our troubles. Thank you. We're fine. We're good. Now, Rock told Marvin after they left, she was like, Marvin, I need you to, put your ears to the street and find out who the fuck did this, because Damon did not work alone. And Terry also told him, like, he wasn't by himself. There was someone else with him. So Marvin's thing is, he's like, I've asked the people in the streets, like, have they heard anything? But everybody says that they haven't heard anything, and he believes it. So she was like, well, you need to work harder, Marvin. I was like, girl, you're chasing a literal ghost. Interesting. You're chasing a ghost right about now. You're chasing Unique. And again, nobody knows that unique is still among the living. But that's it, you guys. Let me make sure I did not miss anything with this episode before I close out the episode. But I think I pretty much hit all the topics. I think I hit everything with this episode. Oh, and by the way, the girl's name that hit on Juke, her name was Jackie. I don't know where I said Jessica, but I knew it was started with a J. I knew it started with a J. But yeah, I think we hit everything, you guys. I believe we did. Yep, that's pretty much it. All right, you guys. So, well, technically, this video isn't really late. I mean, everything, all my other videos are going, well, technically, I'm still on time because I do put out power on Sundays, and it's Sunday when I'm recording this. So, we're still on time. Now, that's it, you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys again. So I have two other, well, I don't know, this might be the last video that you guys see because I still have to record Love After Lockup, and I did have to redo Chasing Dallas again. So when you guys see this video, I mean, this might be the last video that you guys see, and you guys won't even, because I won't even mention them. I won't even mention anything else about being late in the videos. But yeah, you guys. Also, I do want you guys to tell me, so far, 4 episodes into Raising Kanan, like, how are you guys feeling about this season of Raising Kanan? For me, I mean, here's the thing with Raising Kanan, because I had to, outside of episode 1, I think episode 2, 3, and even 4, I think they've all been good. Like I said about Jukebox, that I think this season we're going to start to see the change in Jukebox. I think this is the season to see the change in Laverne. But yeah, you guys, again, well, like I said, this video really isn't late. It isn't late. Well, I mean, it is kind of late because I typically like to have it up early in the morning on Sundays. But neither here nor there, you guys. You got it now. Again, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the season. Let me know what you guys just think in general. And I will catch you guys later. So, after this video, after you guys see this video, we will have Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine and Baddies, which I hope and pray that we are near the season finale of that damn show. And that's all I got, you guys. That is it. That is it. That is it. But again, you guys, I thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. I thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Be sure to like the video, you guys. Be sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, please share the video, you guys. And that's all I got, you guys. I ain't got nothing else for you. I'm trying to stop talking and end this video. But yeah, you guys, that is all I got for you guys. I will catch you guys in the next video.